Hello, this week I've been riding the Ducati Scrambler Full Throttle. It's a bike for hipsters, right? Well, Ducati's marketing campaign certainly seems to suggest so, particularly when they start calling the bike post-heritage. But I reckon just dismissing the Scrambler as a bike for bearded urban trendies is missing a trick. You see, the Scrambler isn't just one of the best city bikes I've ever ridden, it's also really good fun on the back roads. In fact, almost anywhere apart from a motorway. I had the Full Throttle variant, which is supposed to look a bit like an American flat tracker, and I suppose it worked because, to me, it looked a lot like Harley-Davidson's XR 1200. It's got wide bars and it's really lightweight, just 186 kilograms. It's great fun to throw around on a twisty road, particularly coupled with the Pirelli Dual Sport tyres, which give loads of grip, even when I wound the throttle open quite aggressively. There's something really raw about the Scrambler. I mean, make no mistake, it's a sophisticated motorcycle, but it feels earthy and alive. I reckon it's the sort of bike I'd like to go for a pint with. Not like, say, the Ducati Panigale, which would probably just order a Coke. The 800cc air-cooled motor is so responsive and packs such a punch, it's almost oblivious to what gear you're in at the time. I felt really connected to the road, aided in a large part by the stiff suspension and the firm Kabaya rear shock. I'd been riding an SV650 beforehand, and it felt spongy and vague in comparison. The Full Throttle version gets a stubby double-barrel shotgun exhaust with Termignoni mufflers, and it produces a satisfyingly gruff bark. It gets you heard, but not offensively so. Of course, if you do want to fall out with your neighbours, there are plenty of ways to turn the volume up to 11. The range from the 13.5 litre tank is between 100-110 miles before the reserve countdown starts ticking menacingly up. With some petrol station receipt maths, I think you'll probably get about 15 to 20 miles on reserve. So that's not good enough for touring, but there's a bigger problem than the tank range, and that's the saddle. I rode 200 miles in a day on the Scrambler, and by the end of it, I was so sore. Not to get too technical, but my bum was killing me. You know you've had enough when you actually start looking forward to a petrol stop, a single brief respite from that rock-hard saddle. Rock hard it might be, but it looks gorgeous, and the Ducati logo imprinted on the leather is a really quality touch. I wouldn't fancy it for a pillion much though. It's short, and that comedy rear mudguard's unlikely to stop a shower of cat getting sprayed up their back. The Scrambler's natural home though is in town, and here it really excels. I've been commuting through London for the last 7 years, and this is one of the best bikes I've ridden in town. My favourite, if you're asking, is Honda's SH300, but this isn't far behind. The radial Brembo 4-piston brakes have loads of bite, and with ABS as standard, they're great for getting you stopped when some dozy driver pulls out without looking. I'm pretty tall, and the 790mm seat height felt quite low to me, and it can be lowered further to 770mm. So it makes it a good option for shorter riders. After a week, I'd noticed my boots had started to rub away the paint on the swing arm just above the exhaust pipes. So I've defended the Scrambler's hipster image. But I'll tell you, the only time I met a fellow Scrambler owner in the wilds of Clapham, he had a bloody big beard and espadrilles. But I suppose if the child should not be put to death for the sins of the father, we shouldn't really condemn the Scrambler on the beard of its owner.